Nobody talks about this side of self-improvement. At some point, doing everything you can with the hopes to improve your life can actually start to make your life worse. I realized I was optimizing for everything and enjoying almost nothing. So, in today's video, let's talk about the dark side of self-improvement.
You want to know something that's really sad? So I use ChatGPT to reason, right? It's got a really good reasoning program in it. Makes you think of things that you weren't really thinking about. And I gave it my situation, said I was in the mood for a little bike ride or a walk. And it put in situation, came out, said, you should take, this is the sad part, go for a bike ride because you're gonna turn your walk into another low grade workout. Just relax, do something that feels more like living. Don't go for a workout, don't go for a walk, go for a bike. I can't even go for a walk. I can even make that decision on my own to not walk and do something that's more fun rather than productive. Good call on the bike though, chat. Probably could have came up with this decision on my own. Way better of a vibe.
Well, post evening little bike sesh, which I actually got to do more. I always just go for a little walk because it seems like it's easier to just throw the tennis shoes on and then walk in a circle around the neighborhoods. But it is just as easy to hop on the bike, and it's way cooler because you can go way further in the same amount of time and see so much more. And so biking down A1A was actually sick, and I think one of the reasons why I always end up going for a walk is because then I get my steps. With the amount of running I do, like last year, I was averaging like 25,000 steps a day. Now we're just getting into this prep, so my steps are a little bit lower. But even just going for an 8-mile run, I still don't hit my steps for the day unless I'm a little bit intentional about it. So that's the only reason why I always revert back to walking. But the bike ride, so much more enjoyable. But now we're eating dinner. We're eating early dinner because we have an early workout tomorrow morning, and a tough one at that. Tomorrow's our speed session of the week. So early to bed tonight. Filling up with carbs. Boy dinner, which is way better than girl dinner, and I'll tell you why. Girl dinner is pasta. In my mind, when I think this now, this might not be true, but in my mind, when I think girl dinner, it's a little pasta dish because that's what Brooke always does. And that tastes good, and you know, it's not horrible, especially if you get the right pasta. I'm not going to go down that road. But guy dinner, and what I love to eat, is just smorgasbord, and it's gains. It's a veggie, it's rice, and it's ground beef or chicken. And tonight, it is chicken, spinach, sweet pickled beets, lime, soy sauce, sriracha. It's gonna be great. And then, of course, best thing out there, Poppy. I'm gonna have one of these with dinner tonight and then be up and at it for the morning. And also, side note, one of my theories on food and why I love a smorgasbord and always just eat out of a bowl is because if a meal is good, because a meal pairs things together that taste well, that complement each other. So if you have a meat and two sides on your plate, meat, fish, whatever it is, and two sides, in my mind, the meal should taste best when you take a bite of all three of those at the same time because they complement each other. Why would you eat one at a time? It doesn't make any sense. If they're on the plate together, they should be eaten together because they taste best together. Just food for thought. Dinner, bed, see you in the morning.
Up and at it. Today's workout is pretty straightforward. We've got a little bit of a warm-up, 20 minutes at threshold, and then a cool down. Simple workout, not necessarily easy, but I think just because it is so straightforward, I only have one rep to do technically. It is not too daunting on me, and I'm very, very thankful for that, for today. Some days I really just want to destroy myself. Today, pretty straightforward, but let's talk about the trap of self-improvement. Just wrapped up our 20-minute controlled tempo, 6:55 pace. And now we're going into the cool down. But before I get into the cool down, I wanted to stop and talk about the dark side of self-improvement and how if every single day you think you need to improve, your life slowly starts to just feel like a constant project. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the idea of 1% better every day, but that is not tied to output. If you tie your self-worth to output and productivity every single day, you're setting yourself up for a very unsatisfactory life. Start thinking that every day needs to be productive and you can't sit still, and you feel guilty when you do. And that's gonna drive you down a very, very deep hole. Well, that's done. 7 miles, 8-minute average pace. So 2-mile warm up, 20 minutes. I averaged right at 6:55 pace. So dead on 2-mile cool down, and pretty solid workout. Not a crazy effort. I didn't let my ego get to me, which sometimes ego is something that drives disciplined people. And one thing I've learned, not just about myself, but about a lot of disciplined people, is sometimes discipline is actually just covering up fear of being average, of falling behind, of not living up to your potential. And I've learned over time that sometimes grinding isn't necessarily growth. A lot of times it's just avoidance. I mean, you can even ask Brooke. I cannot sit still. And I've came a long way from years ago. It used to be bad. I'd be trapped with anxiety if I wasn't doing something because I felt like I always had to be doing something. Now, I just can't sit still for too long. I can chill out a little bit more now, but it's still something that I'm working with, and it's something that a lot of people who are overachievers, extra disciplined, and huge self-improvement people, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You can't sit still because you're avoiding problems, because you feel like you have to be doing something, when a lot of times forcing yourself to be productive, a lot of times that work isn't even productive, and you would have been better off relaxing and taking a break and recovering. And so when it was time to be productive and time to actually grind and grow, you would have had more energy, but instead you just killed yourself with a low level of anxiety. It's just fighting a losing battle if your mind is always in self-discipline, self-improvement, grind, grow mode. There was something really interesting that I recently learned. So if you've been watching any of my other videos, then you know that for weeks before this current marathon prep, I was hurt. I've dealt with injuries in the past, some Achilles, maybe a little bit of knee pain. Nothing more to take me out than just a couple days. But this injury made me take a step back, and I realized something. I realized just how fatigued I actually was. I realized how on all of the time my nervous system was. And when I had to take this time off from running, it's hard to create the same fatigue and stimulus in the weight room or the bike unless you're biking for hours and hours, which I wasn't. I was trying to maintain some sort of fitness. And I knew it from what other people say and just basics of fitness and recovery that you need those breaks. But for me, I was so go, 1% better every single day that I just could not get myself to really actually take a meaningful break. And I thought that stopping would make me weaker, but I learned it actually made me stronger. I'm more mentally calm. I'm more excited to push again. I physically feel rejuvenated, and I feel so much better up here. And it was because I was finally forced to take a break that I've realized you are so much better off just taking that break yourself. That way you don't have to be hurt. Nobody likes being hurt. And actually taking a step back allows you to take 2 steps forward.
One thing that I've added to this current prep that I haven't had in one of my past marathons is a straight up recovery sesh. That's what today was. Easy 4 miles, some stretching, some PT work, really short, easy session. And I've never done it before because I thought, well, today wasn't an intense run, so therefore today should be a lift day. I need to go ham. Yesterday I went ham. Tomorrow I'm going ham. Today I need to go ham too. And that's not productive. Because while you think it is getting you closer to your goals, it is actually putting you in a bind. It is taking away your freedom. And discipline should enhance your life. It shouldn't feel. And if you're like me and you're just so used to saying no to some things, or you just don't do that on those days because you always have X, then you're looking at it at the wrong frame. If your self-improvement is destroying your ability to enjoy life, you're doing something wrong. All this self-improvement, dialing in the books, the podcast, the workouts, the grind talk, all of it should be supporting your life, not taking away from it. The goal isn't becoming a machine. The goal is to become a fulfilled human, and you can't do that if every single day you're taking away your ability to enjoy it because you have to dial in. I want to be very clear. Self-improvement is important. Hard work matters. Discipline matters. Having a purpose every single day, it matters. Don't get that wrong. But that doesn't mean it's all great. There is a dark side. Slowing down matters too. Being present matters. Enjoying life matters. And that is the whole point on why self-improvement is so big, is because you're trying to improve yourself, which then radiates your surroundings and improves your entire life. But if you're so focused on every single day grinding your freaking gears, what's the point? You're not enjoying today, so that tomorrow you think you can enjoy it. But if tomorrow you're still not enjoying it and you keep kicking that can down the road, what is the point? The point of self-improvement should be to improve your life, not escape it. Thanks for watching another one, guys. I hope you keep grinding, but I hope you take a second to reap the fruits of your labor and sit there for a moment and realize everything that you've accomplished, and realize it matters to be calm too. So don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.